Today our topic is sustainable procurement in supply chain. Sustainable procurement is an important part of any organization that wishes to achieve or maintain an advantage in today's competitive world. Consumers now demand that organizations take sustainability seriously. This document will provide you with a greater understanding of what sustainable procurement is and what the benefits are when successfully implemented. The factors that should be considered by sustainable procurement include non-renewable material use, manufacture and production methods, logistics, recycling options, disposal and supplier capabilities. At the macro level, sustainable procurement can deliver better economic, environmental, and social outcomes. These macro-level issues also need to be considered while analyzing the impact of sustainable procurement on the supply chain environment. Economic impact of sustainability refers to corporate governance, ethical trading and payment on time. Environmental impact may include biodiversity, climate change, and carbon footprints factors, and social impact incorporates diversity and human rights. At the micro-organizational level, sustainable procurement can generate value for money and raise efficiencies within organizations, by managing supply risks and augmenting resource productivity levels, and lead to cost-effective procurement. Sustainability in an organization can be captured across three levels. Number 1, legal requirements. Number 2, cost and waste reduction and mitigation of risks. Number 3, protection of brand and reputation. Organizations can also use sustainability initiatives to increase employee involvement and participation, and change certain practices embedded in organizational culture. Some organizations do not treat ideas of sustainable procurement with careful consideration and fail to comprehend the way sustainable procurement practices can modify or align with existing procurement practices. Ideally, these should be integrated into an approach that encourages life cycle systems management. Legislation increasingly acts as a driver for adopting culture and practices supporting sustainable procurement in organizations. Underpinning this core legislation are various regulations and directives, such as the Waste, Electrical and Electronic Directive, a Waste Framework Directive, and the regulations governing the registration, evaluation, authorization, and restriction of chemicals. Sustainable procurement can be defined as procurement which supports the sustainability goals of the organization and optimizes the environmental, social, and economic impacts over the life cycle of the product or service. Implementing sustainable procurement is not an easy task. At the same time, it is making an impact or at least starting the process achievable. Thus, sustainability can be incorporated into different elements of the whole procurement process, for example, defining needs, evaluating options, design and specifying, supplier selection, tender evaluation, post-contract management, and supplier development. Steps to successful application. Step 1. Adopt a sustainable procurement policy. Establish the role of procurement professionals and buyers, adopt the standards or targets showing what will and will not be bought, and agree on the techniques to be used, for example whole life costing, risk assessment. Step 2. Challenge culture and publish policy. Challenge current culture within the company and publish the sustainable procurement policy as a clear commitment to action, and ensure that senior figures visibly pursue this policy and demonstrate their commitment to real action and change. Step 3. Develop a dialogue with suppliers. Discuss with suppliers the possibility of a more sustainable version of current purchases, for example furniture with a higher recycled content. For new procurements, include sustainability in the basic specification. Now we will discuss the potential advantages. Number 1. Raise corporate image in the market. Sustainable procurement approaches can demonstrate procurement and supply managers, P&SMs, value to the organization and raise corporate image in the market. Improve resource efficiency. Sustainable procurement can reduce waste and improve resource efficiency, ensuring that costs are minimized and processes are more efficient. Lower degrees of business risk. Sustainable procurement is associated with lower degrees of business risk under certain circumstances. Now we will discuss the potential disadvantages. Number 1. Perceived as an option. There is a risk that sustainable procurement may be perceived as an option for larger organizations who have the necessary financial, human and other resources to invest in sustainable practices. Number 2. Time and resources. Additional time and resources need to be continuously invested in aligning internal sustainable procurement practices and those of suppliers with changing legislative requirements. Number 3. Operating large and complex supply. This is particularly critical for organizations operating large and complex supply chains spanning various countries where legislation and de facto working practices vary to the home country of business. Here we will understand how to monitor the performance. The first point is benchmarking, comparing company practices, ethical sourcing, or corporate social responsibility, with best-in-class performance. Number 2. Perceptions of those external to the organization. And number 3. Business alignment and stakeholder engagement need to be measured to achieve a clear linkage between business strategy, goals, and sustainable procurement initiatives. Senior management must understand the true business case for sustainable procurement. It might be difficult to achieve buy-in from lower-level employees if the people at the top are not serious about sustainability. Central to making sustainable procurement work is motivating suppliers to offer more sustainable products. Buyers and users should start to define functional performance specifications, including sustainability, rather than just the technical specifications of known products. It is important to give suppliers advance warning about any changes in the product and component requirements if these are caused by new organizational sustainable procurement practices. Implementing sustainable procurement practices will require extensive discussions with major stakeholders identified along the supply chain, for example customers, suppliers, managers, employees, government, banking, and financial institutions, shareholders. I hope you enjoyed this video, and before leaving, if you have not already subscribed this channel, make sure to subscribe, like and hit the bell icon to get updates when I post new videos. Provide your feedback in comments. You can download material from the below links under video.